Hi guys, welcome to today's video and of course welcome to the messy desk over there. Today, obviously, you've guessed by the title, we're going to look at the Ballad of Mighty I by Noel Gallagher and his High Flying Birds. There's an interesting song here. Some sections don't have a huge amount of guitar on, so I have looked at a live version as I am wont to do, and I've looked at one that he does on the Graham Norton show, which I'm going to hopefully possibly remember to link down below. It's a really cool live version because we get to see really clearly what he's doing and hear what his kind of ideas are for how to play it live. In the song, I'm going to go through obviously section by section as I always like to do. We're going to look at the solo, we're going to look at that very quickly, what the second guitar player is playing, and I'm going to do a separate video, probably my next video, on what Noel Gallagher plays in the solo. So this video is just going to be what the other guitar player plays, which is closer to what is played in the original track. Hopefully that makes sense. That being said, we need to crack on, otherwise it's going to be a long video anyway, let's face it. So the first thing you'll hear is me playing the intro. Now, I have to admit, the intro and the verse, he just plays a G chord. So I'm not sure I'm going to play much of it, but I'm going to at least play it a few times just so you know what I'm doing. And then we'll go through a G chord and we'll go from there. So yeah, let's just crack on and have a go at this really cool song. Okay guys, so that's intro and verse played through. As I said, it is just a G chord, but you might notice this, yes, capo first fret. So didn't mention that in the intro because I forgot, but it is capo first fret. So G chord, as usual, we got the Noel Gallagher G, both fingers down. So that's 3rd fret on the high E and the B, okay, and then of course 2nd fret on the A, 3rd fret on the low E. Now on that live video, my guitar in tune? Yeah, it's close enough. He's just down upping. That's all he's doing. He's got a little bit more distortion than I've got. Mine's quite clean at the moment, just because I think it will sound better for your purposes to hear me. And to be honest, he's playing what, like a 3-3-5 or something of that ilk. So I'm not going to sound the same as him. So I'm not going to bother trying. It's more just about getting the right chords and stuff like that. So it's literally just down upping, where you're basically playing like this. Now, the only thing I would say about the strum is I'm targeting the middle strings, A, D, G, B, really where I'm targeting rather than the 2 E strings either side. That's what it sounds like he's doing, particularly on that live version, as I mentioned. Other than that, that's it. You've got that really cool drum beat. That was rubbish, but you get the idea. So basically, I'm going to just tell you how many bars you do. You're going to do 4 bars for the intro and then 8 bars for the verse, okay? So the intro guitar bit would kick in on the original track at 9 seconds, and then the verse starts around 17 seconds, and then the end of the verse, once you've done those extra 8 bars for the verse, that's 33 seconds. So effectively this song starts with 12 bars of a G chord with a capo first fret, and that is it, okay? Later on, after the first chorusy bit, we are going to do another 4 bars as an interlude, which comes in about 1:12 in the song, and then we're going to start our second verse, which is another 8 bars of G, which finishes about 1:36. So from somewhere around 1:12 to somewhere around 1:36, you know, within a second of that, that's where we're going to have effectively an intro and verse again. And it's exactly the same both times. We're just strumming through a G chord. That's what he's doing live, so it must be right. I don't know why I'm doing so much with my hand. Just hold the guitar. But that's it. That's it. There's not really much to say about this section, really. I mean, I'll say I'm strumming the middle of the strings. I'm kind of strumming on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and feel free to add some more rhythm in there. But as usual, I want to keep it as simple as possible. And that is predominantly what he's doing in this song. I can't say that enough. So that's the first bit of the song, intro verse, which is then repeated after the first chorus. Exactly the same, 12 bars of G, capo first fret, down upping everything. So let's go through then the next section, which is the big chunk of more interesting chords, which starts with that B minor, which comes in after about 33 seconds into the song, okay? So this is like a pre-chorus going straight into a chorus. It's hard to feel exactly where that changes because there's so many similar chords. So I'm just going to do it as a whole bit. Okay, so that's the next thing you'll hear is me playing that through. I'm not going to bother playing a G chord through slowly because I think you guys understand. You just down up a G chord. Okay, all you have to do is remember each bar is 8 strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's one bar, 12 of those. Does that make sense? Let's crack on and do the next bit. Okay guys, so as I said, that's kind of our long chorusy bit. There is one little note we should say about this is it's played 3 times and it's different every time. So that's great, isn't it? So we're going to have to go through all different variations of it. So let's try and get through this one nice and simply with this first variation, okay? It starts with a B minor, so after the 12 bars of G, we've got a B minor. We're going to do 2 bars. Again, I'm just down-upping through everything. In the original track, the album track, there's clearly a good distorted guitar coming in, doing a big hit here. So if you're playing this with a band, that's probably more what you do. But again, that's not what he does. He has a second guitar player to do that for him, so he's just strumming through this bit as well. So we're just going to continue doing that with some down ups. Again, feel free to adjust these rhythms a bit as you prefer. I'm just trying to keep things as simple as possible. And also it's nice if you could play this just on your acoustic, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's crack on. 2 bars of B minor. So I missed a strum, didn't I? Anyway, 2 bars of D. 4 bars of G. Back to B minor for 2 bars. D for 2 bars. Then I'm going to go E minor for 1 bar, and it's definitely just a normal E minor, not an E minor 7 as we see quite a lot of the time with Noel. It's definitely E minor. Again, the live version really tells us that, but it sounds like an E minor as well, which helps. 1 bar. B minor. One of my strings sounds out of tune, I apologise. E minor again, 1 bar. B minor again. D for 1 bar. Now the next chord took me lots of pondering. It sounds and feels like an A sus4, but it's hard to tell exactly what he's playing live, but it sounds like an A sus4, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so if you don't know an A sus4, it's 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, and 3rd fret B with an open A and an open high E, and nothing on that low E. Again, 1 bar. Then we're going to go to a B sus2. Now this is one that definitely stumped me on the original recording, but live it's clearly a B sus2 that they're playing. So this is bar, 2nd fret as you would with a normal B, and then 4th fret on the D and the G. Okay, so basically it's going to go nothing on the low E, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. Now what I did in my version is I gave it a strum. You could just keep down upping, but I just went 1 down strum, and you can hear that little melody. That's 2nd fret on the high E string, open high E, open on that B. Obviously capo on, so it's it's actually the 3rd fret clearly because there's a dot there, but it's 2nd fret because the capo's on. I've discussed this in a previous video. This is one of those songs that you can very easily play without the capo if you're just playing on your own. So that's why I'm kind of doing it like this. So before I get into any more shenanigans with that, that is basically the pre-chorus. So there's not really, again, rhythmically, there's not a lot going on. You just got to remember this. 2 bars of D, 2 bars of B minor, 2 bars of D, 4 bars of G, 2 bars of B minor, 2 bars of D, E minor 1 bar, B minor 1 bar, E minor 1 bar, B minor 1 bar, D 1 bar, A sus4 1 bar, and then 2 bars of that B sus4, which you can strum a little differently. Okay, so that's our chorus section. Okay, so I will play through this one slowly, because it's a little bit more complicated. But again, usually I do the slow stuff for the rhythm, so I'm only going to go through it slowly just for this first chorus variation. The other two variations I will not go through slowly. You'll just have to listen and write down the variations, okay? Hopefully that's not me being too mean, but it's quite a long section. I don't want the video to be too long. I'm talking a lot, so let's crack on. I'm just going to play it through slowly, then we'll do the next section, which is actually the second chorus. Okay, so that was the slow version of the chorus. So as I said, we're going to now go through the second chorus. So this kicks in about 1 minute 36 into the song. We've gone so far intro, verse, chorus. We're going to do intro, verse, and now chorus 2, and that's where we're up to. So the variation, so what's the variation here? We're going to double up the E minor to B minor bit. So we work through this section as normal. B minor, D, G, B minor, D, E minor, B minor, E minor, B minor, D, A sus4. But rather than then going to the B sus2, we then go back to the E minor and do that again. E minor, B minor, E minor, B minor, D, A sus4, and then we go to the B sus2. Okay, and we do the B sus2 for 4 bars before we hit the solo, okay? So you just double up that kind of final bit, the E minor to B minor bit, and then you double the length of the B sus2 chord. I've written it as a B sus4 there just to confuse myself. It's definitely B sus2, this one. Hopefully that makes sense, and I'm going to play it through for you now at full speed, not slow, just full speed, so you can hopefully see and hear the difference. Let's crack on. Put my headphones in. Okay guys, so that was the second chorus. So as I've alluded to already, the solo comes next. As I think I mentioned in my intro bit, I have recorded it but I can't remember, I will probably do my next video on the actual solo. So I'm now going to just play through roughly what the second guitar player is playing. It's a bit hard to hear, so I'm following the bass a bit, but this seems to be what he's playing now. Most people will probably rather learn the solo bit, and if you're playing this on your own, you'd probably just cycle through a couple of the chords and then come back in with that kind of chorusy bit at the end. So I suspect not many of you really care about this bit, so I'm going to go through it quite quickly. What I'll do, as usual, I'll play through it and then I'll just talk through it, but it is pretty simple. But that's what we're going to play, is me playing the guitar that's underneath the solo. Okay guys, so that was the solo bit. As I said, it's relatively simple. So I'm going to basically just play along this top string. 4, 11, 6, 4. And I'm going to do that twice. And once I've done that twice, I'm going to go back and play 6. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Again, this is a bit easier to hear, I think, on that live version as well. But so I'm very much following the bass as well, I should say, if I haven't already. Anyway, that's it. So it's 4, 11, 6, 4, and then you go back in 4. It's nice to get that slide on that second time through again, you know. Then 11, 6, 4, and then into 6. Okay, so that's the solo-y bit. So what we've got now is this final chorus section. So the first bit, there's not really any guitar, and even on the live version, he basically stops playing. You could obviously just play through it as you would before. It's mostly just that a G chord for the verse kind of feel. But he's not, so you could, you know, feel whatever works for you there. But so he's taking the guitar out there. He does the same thing on the live version. Around, let me see if I can read my handwriting. It's either 312 or 322. I'm sorry, I can't read my handwriting well enough. We get basically another chorus section, but we're missing out the first B minor, D and G. So normally it would be 2 bars of B minor, 2 bars of D, 4 bars of G, and we're basically missing that out, and we're just going to start from the B minor to the D to E minor to B minor to E minor to B minor to D to A sus4, yeah? And then we'll talk about the outro in a second. So we're missing out, as I say, those first 3 chords of that chorus after what is effectively a no guitar section for that a cappella. It's not really a cappella, but you know what I mean, the no guitar versey bit. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'll play that through, that whole section from the end of the solo through for you at full speed, and then we'll talk about the ridiculously long outro. That was chorus 3. So yeah, so basically it's like chorus 2, but you miss out the first 3 chords. I've already said that like 4 times, so hopefully you understand that, and hopefully me playing through has helped. So the outro, I'm going to be very quick on the outro again and just say it's Noel Gallagher is effectively playing on that live version that B sus2 chord just for 24 bars. I mean, that is what he's doing, and the second guitar player, who actually I don't know the name of, and I'm sorry I haven't researched, and I normally like to do that with live bands. He's playing something else, and he's playing little bits here, little, you know, so he's not playing a lot, he's just playing bits here and there, and then he's playing a lot, and then he's not. So it's a whole long section of it, but it's 24 bars, okay, of just that B sus2 chord. Now, if you're playing this on your own with an acoustic or something and just strumming along like that, you would not be doing 24 bars. You probably just do those kind of 4 bars where you do this. Get my pick. And then you probably end the song there. So, but that's just what I would do. You feel free to do what you like. My guitar is, again, struggling to stay in tune. I think a string change is going to be desperately required. So I'm going to try and do that before next week. Hopefully I'll get time, probably won't. But anyway, that is, I think, all the bits I wanted to go through. So yeah, so this third chorus ends about 354. So from 354 to the whole rest of the song, we're basically just going to be holding that B sus down. You could play solos over it, whatever you wanted to do. Yeah, say there's little bits of guitar on the live version that I might go through at some point, but it's not going to be a high priority. My main priority next is going to be the actual solo section, which is from like whatever 2:30 in the song or something like that. So that's the plan. Next thing you'll see is my face. Let's go. Well guys, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully the video is not too long. I haven't actually recorded it yet, so Hopefully it will be, won't it? Yeah, it's going to be super long. But anyway, if you made it this far, well done, you got through it. I haven't actually listened to a lot of Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, it's hard to say quickly. So it's nice when people recommend them, because actually I'll go and listen to them, and I've started to like this song more and more as I've listened to it. The first time I was like, and then I've just kind of liked it more and more as it's gone on, which is nice. Sometimes you get that with songs, don't you? You get a little grower. But yeah, so I really appreciate the recommendations. It's great because it maybe makes me listen to songs I haven't heard for 20 plus years, some of them. Listen to them again with different ears, especially the stuff of Be Here Now, which at the time I really wasn't a big fan of. I remember buying the CD and not really enjoying it, and now I listen to them and I do like it. So anyway, as usual, I'm just mumbling along. So thanks for recommending this, whoever did recommend this. I'm sorry, there was 2 of you, and I can't remember either of your names, so I didn't write them down because I'm a bad person. But I do really, really appreciate it. It's great because, as I said, it gives me a chance to listen to stuff I perhaps wouldn't listen to as much, or haven't heard before, or haven't listened to for a long time. But it's also great to just give me cool ideas for videos to do for you guys, especially at this time when everything's all up in the air. It's fantastic. So I really appreciate that. I'll also do my usual spiel at the end and say, if you could like the video, it does really help. If you comment on the video, it really helps. People have been really good for both of those things over the last few weeks especially, so I really appreciate that. Some people, you see over and over again commenting, and it really helps. It really, really does help. Please obviously subscribe to the channel, and obviously if you want to follow any of my other shenanigans, I have my social medias. I'm trying to be a bit more active on them, but I'm not that great. Yeah, anyway, I'm just mumbling, so I'll say thanks for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you guys again soon. Probably for the solo from this song will be my next Oasis, Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher style video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again soon with some more cool guitar stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.